Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Teen Titans Season 1, Episode 1. Alright, so this is unfortunately not easily available in Canada, but if you're able to get much like I've got the American version of Netflix, if you're able to get the American version of the DC Universe app, then you're kind of okay. But still got to pay for it and all that good stuff. But yeah, there are ways around it. Anyway, so this was actually very enjoyable episode. All right, oh, dude, it's got problems like you would not believe. If you haven't seen this yet, just brace yourself. There are going to be some issues that you're going to notice. They're pretty blatant, but if you can get past those, this is a really good show. There was a moment in here which actually made me go like, oh man, you got me. Okay, so first off, a lot of these guys aren't really teenagers. Like, Teen Titans, man, what's up? But it's not really Teen Titans, is it? Not when you got people like Dick Grayson is how old in this? He's a detective. And then you got, what's her name? Starfire? She's a prostitute in this, but she's like a spy infiltrator prostitute. There's some crazy stuff going on here, right? Raven is indeed a teenager. It looks like Garth maybe also. That's Beast Boy for those of you who don't know. What we essentially have here is a version of the origin story of Dick Grayson, the Flying Graysons situation. I enjoyed that. Okay, that was actually a scene that made me like, bunch up when Raven actually met Dick. Like she touched his hand and all that stuff and got the reading of who he was. She's like, "You're him. You're the circus boy." Oh man, I kind of like, no, I'm not gonna get choked up. Not gonna do it. And I avoided it, but oh, it was hard. It was hard. This was really sad. So I enjoyed that. TV show getting emotion out of you from characters who you know and love. Boom, got you. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to argue. I know there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be like, "Oh no, the origin story wasn't the right." No, the origin story wasn't exactly like this. That some people are going to say, "Oh, well, the rope wasn't burned up there. Oh, Dick Grayson wasn't actually there when it happened. He was, off talking to the guy. Oh, it was supposed to be Two-Face who did it. Oh, no, it was actually so-and-so." Go and check out Nightwing. Nightwing Explained in a Minute on Comic Book University. You'll see, in general, some of the origin stories for the character. I enjoyed that she was seeing this stuff in a dream, like it was actually important stuff, and then her mom, air quotes, comes walking in. If you guys saw this, you know what I'm talking about. And she's like trying to pray with her, and she's like trying to pray the demonic spirit away and whatnot. Any moment I was expecting the face of Trigon to appear, or at least the six-eyed demon looking thing. I was hoping for anything like that. Didn't actually happen. Instead, we just got the scary face girl, like, out of The Grudge or something like that. It's like, "Oh, I'm Raven. I'm a cute little teenage girl, whose mouth is always open going, I can't believe this is happening to me." And then all of a sudden you get the scary face in the mirror all the time. Cliche, done to death. Yet, it still works just effectively enough in here. So I was okay with it. Totally okay with it. A bunch of other things happen in the show. We get to see Dick Grayson again as a detective. He used to be a detective over in Gotham, transferred over here. I didn't see if they actually said Bloodhaven or not. It's not really the most important thing in the world. He's in this particular city in the Teen Titans show. He's got his little, I don't know what kind of car that is. Is that a Bentley? I'm not sure. But, he's got this cool car. He's got the fingerprint scanner with the retinal scanner and all that stuff. Multiple safeguards so that his suit can open up. And then he could transform, he could change and do whatever. He's got a new partner who joins up, and, he's kind of he's a Dick Grayson to her. But they warm up to each other enough later on by the end of this episode. So, this is going to be kind of hard, man, thinking about him doing all this work and going out and fighting crime at night, So I'm seeing him now more as a daredevil character from the original movie where, he's got a regular day job, but then he goes out at night in order to handle the stuff that he can't handle because of jurisprudence or some other tenet of the law that says, you don't have a warrant to go after this guy. You don't have permission to go after him. Oh, there's no just cause or even reasonable cause. So, yeah, that's got to be hard for him to deal with. Raven's neighbor, what a jerk, And I was kind of hoping he was going to get his towards the end when all of a sudden that creepy dude shows up. And I'm pretty sure his name has to be the creepy dude in the credits because that's all he did. He just went out of his way to be extra creep, I can see the audition right now. All right, man, I want you to be a bad guy. Oh, Raven, I'm going to shoot you as I shoot your mother. And, it's like, that's not creepy enough, Go pedophile level creep for me. Yeah, that's what pretty much did it. Like, he looked like a bad guy, sounded like a bad guy, moved like a bad guy, looks like a duck, walks like a duck, acts like a duck, right? Quacks. Yeah, it's probably a freaking duck. So this guy was clearly the bad guy. But anybody else hoping that the neighbor was going to get shot also? I just said, when she screamed, the neighbor's going to come out, well, okay, I just warned you. Now I'm going to... And all of a sudden the guy comes out, shut up. Yes! That neighbor guy was such a jerk to her, man. But, Raven's whole life did change right then and there. Nightwing... he's not Nightwing yet. He's still Robin. Nightwing coming out and kicking some booty. He's just like... all the stuff that he does, at first he's just standing there and there's a bunch of, he's, perched on the car. And then the guys are, standing there pointing the guns at him. And I'm thinking, this is idiotic. You don't have a whole lot of that costume on. Oh, the costume is awesome. The best costume in the entire TV show. Boom, right there, Nightwing. That was awesome. But he was relying on the idea that everybody was expecting Batman was going to show up. That's going to work now, but all it takes is one time somebody not even to think about that and just be like, oh no, it's Robin, and bullet through the eye. Block that, But I did like what he was doing so far. I really did dig the bow staff, how it extended. He's like, using it as a baton, and then all of a sudden, and then it, takes out the two guys. That's cool. That's a hell of a spring, let me tell you something, but I was cool with it. He went a little extra violent. He went like Arkham level violent on the main bad guy in this alleyway. It's like, you hurt your kids again. And we saw him with the little fold and everything like that, hurting, these kids were jacked up because of him. His kids, clearly. You hurt, your kids anymore. I will find you. Whoa, dude. Whoa, man. You got him right now. And he made the most of it. He's like, boom, 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 knocking this dude out. Talking about dudes being knocked out. What's up with that dude on the bus? It's like, here's a football player saying, hey, stop harassing this girl. And then this little dweeb, he's a big guy. He's probably like one of the kooks, one of the freaks in school. But whatever, one of the outcasts. And like, don't you have a touchdown to throw? Okay, that was funny. But at the same time, touchdown to make. But when the guy got up, that's when you walk away. You don't punch him square in the eye. You don't do all that stuff. Like, he's on the football team. I'm sorry, does anybody else remember high school? You never mess with the guys on the football team. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're in the weight room, because half those guys in the weight room are going to be his friend anyway. And he's got the entire football team on his side. They're not all always in the weight room, but dude, you're looking to get bugged out if you mess with somebody on the football team. Also, one of the scenes I'm looking at right now is MCI buses. Those things still exist. I don't know if they're the same. I'd have to look it up, but I remember I worked for Lucent for a short time. Lucent became Lucent because they had to split from AT&T. Together, they used to be just AT&T until the monopoly laws took over. But AT&T, most people just know them as the phone company. And even back in the day when they were still doing engineering and whatnot, when they were still considered, Ma Bell and whatnot, they were like, the lead thing, but they also had MCI as a form of competition for them. I think it was MCI that had 1-800-COLLECT. Anybody remember making collect phone calls? I'm sorry, this was just awesome. I love seeing like MCI. I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, that's the phone company that used to compete with AT&T. So that was kind of interesting. I dug that. Raven going to the shelter warmed my heart just enough, because the one girl was doing everything right, but apparently she's just trying to get Raven to get into this car. Now, we didn't see where she's actually trying to take her. Was she actually trying to take her to that creepy dude? Because she does wind up with that creepy dude later, but because the cop, the one dirty cop, man, that dirty cop thing, dude, like, come on. And you know how sometimes they'll make things in TV shows so that it works just perfectly? Like when they showed the camera image of what's going on inside that interrogation room, excuse me, and you saw the one cop walk in, and the light just happened to be one of those hanging lights, so it was blocking the face of whoever was in the room, including that cop. I'm just like, oh, just way too ultra convenient. But they never actually wound up using that, you know? They never actually wound up using that that storyline. Like, oh no, I went and looked in the footage, but I can't see his face. He didn't walk far enough from the room. It's like he knew that was going to be I was expecting that to happen, but they didn't even bother using that. Instead, Dick, like, you don't have to be the world's greatest detective to have followed that freaking cop. I mean, that was easy. I don't know how he was able to go and find him. It's like he was following his infrared footprints. He's got special serialized shoe prints. You know what I'm saying? Leads a distinguishable trace there. I also did enjoy the idea that she threw the brick or the rock at the police car. That's what caused the stuff. The guy stopped. He turned on the lights and everything like that. And he went and he took Raven in. That's what she was looking for. But at the same time, like, I get that she didn't say, that woman's following me, because there are teens who are going to be like, you know, oh no, I just need to get out of here. I don't want to, you know, make a big scene or anything. But either way, it is kind of messed up that even Dick Grayson the whole time was talking about, you vandalized a police car. You threw a brick at a police car or a rock or whatever. You threw something at a police car. Yeah, my tax dollars. Sorry, this is just one of the ways that I feel. Cops are supposed to work for us, okay? I get if you're a bad guy, you lose that privilege, all right? But cops are supposed to be working for us. Since when are we supposed to respect cops? Hi, cops, learn how to respect us back. How about that, all right? I still believe in the whole I pay your taxes thing. What do you call it? I just, oh, dude, how do we pay people to bully and lord over us when cases like this happen? It's my police car, damn it. I paid for it. Nonetheless, it does bother me that the woman at the shelter was more willing to actually help her than anybody at the police department. But especially, you know, like, I can understand that, whatever, storyline purposes, but even Dick Grayson, like, you know, when the other cop came in, it's like, hey, you still have that thing where you want to help kids? Wow, what a piece of trash she was, you know? But he didn't wind up proving to be a whole lot better. At least he was willing to talk to her, I guess, talk to Raven. But that is the scene where we had that heartwarming moment where, well, I did at least, where Raven said, you know, you're the boy. It didn't seem to, I can understand not phasing him, but whatever. Pretty much the entire rest of this was devoted to Starfire. She was, I don't understand what the frag was going on here. It looks like she was dressed to be a hooker. She wound up losing her memory. She wakes up in this car that had just crashed because of bullet holes in the car. You know, somebody was like shooting at the car. And those guys are, I wouldn't say hot on the trail, but they're eventually coming on. It's like, I guess they got stopped at a red light. But either way, this was in Vienna, Austria. And yeah, she's, somehow she's got the entire top floor of, so I guess it's the penthouse suite. Because they did say, you know, you got the entire top floor. Oh, you got the room. You know, I'll bring coffee up to your room. Hey, that coffee never came, man. Like, what were they doing? Going directly to Colombia to get that coffee? It's like, it is fresh. It is as fresh could be. Juan Valdez will bring it personally. Like, what the hell, dude? So, yeah, I'm pretty upset about the lack of coffee, man. What's up with that? Raven didn't even get to drink her coffee. There's no cream in the coffee. And her mom just came by, you're too young to be drinking coffee. Man, everybody got denied their coffee. But how Raven was able to escape and then get back to the hotel, Starfire, none of that's really explained. But there's a lot that isn't explained in here. I did like how she got her powers, how she recognized that she had powers. I don't know what happened to the bullet, that when I guess it melted because it got too close to her. She's got powers of fire here instead of this ultra kinetic blasts thing that she does. But it's it was pretty interesting. I'm okay with it being fire instead. I have no problem with that. What I did have a problem with is how the one dude shot her. She does whatever, magically gets rid of the damn bullet, and then she goes and just lights up all three people in the room, turns their bodies into ash. The bodies can't even fall. They get incinerated so quickly that they don't have time to fall. Instead, they're going to flake away with the ashes because the fire went all the way straight through. They're just reduced to nothing but carbon flecks at this point. You can see the entire desk was destroyed. The vodka bottles or whiskey bottles, whatever's on there, those things get destroyed. Everything in the room gets destroyed. But somehow that picture, not even smoking. What's up with that? Somehow that picture of whomever that she was looking at, somehow that made it out perfectly okay. Listen, at this point, this Titan show is pretty cool, but come on, man. Like, at this point, I want to know more about that picture. What is that picture made out of? Is that made of nth metal? What's going on? How come it's immune to fire? All right? It's immune to fire and heat. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the frag is going on here? So I was just a little bit, perplexed by some of the things that happen here. A lot of the things were obviously way too convenient, is what it is. That's what it's going to be. I guess that Raven was where... Raven. I guess Starfire was... since she was playing the part of a hooker, I guess that's why she's wearing the stuff that she's wearing. But her hiding in shadows and stuff like that, being able to get away from people, dude, she's in bright clothes and look at her freaking hair. What up? Like, she's not hiding from anyone, anywhere at all. That's not happening. And also, I am going to comment on her lack of makeup. All right, meaning the fact that she wasn't orange. Look, I look at a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy and I see that Drax and Gamora, these two actually look like Drax and Gamora. Yeah, Drax doesn't look like he originally looked back in the day, but this is a much better look, and they did change the comics to look like her. Same thing they did with Wonder Woman's outfit. I love the new Wonder Woman's outfit with the leather bits coming down over top of the underwear. I love that. That's awesome. But, like, you look at Gamora, she's totally covered up in makeup, and it looks really good. Same thing with Drax the Destroyer. However, Zazie Beetz, okay, absolutely gorgeous woman. But, hey, man, so is freaking Zoe Saldana, They're both gorgeous women, but Zoe looks like Gamora. Zazie Beetz does not look like Domino. I know I've got Domino's character around here somewhere. I'm not going to go and look for it. I should have looked for it before this. I didn't know I was going to talk about this. But, yeah, dude, no, sorry. Domino is white. And when I say white, I don't mean she's a white girl. I mean the color white. She's not Caucasian. I don't know if anybody knows what the heck she is. We don't even know her real last name. Thurman is her married name, So, she's pure white with a black spot. I don't know why all this other stuff is happening. Oh, we just got lazy. We decided we'll put a single spot, on her eye, a peach-colored spot or whatever on her eye, and we'll just let her stay whatever. It's kind of lazy, don't you think? Wouldn't you want her to look more like the character? She acted like her. Awesome. I'm totally cool with the way she acted, but, dude... Man, come on, dude. I want to see the all-white makeup and everything. And here, in Titan's TV show, I want a Starfire to be all orange, all right? I was really hoping to see that, and I'm really disappointed that's not what we see. They did kind of show it a little bit, because when she, started, the stuff with her powers really coming out, she had the green eyes, she had everything, and it looked beautiful, amazing. Speaking of makeup, at the very end, after the credits, if you had noticed, they had Beast Boy. Yeah, they had the thing with Beast Boy. Beast Boy's hair is green. His skin is not green. Again, I get that it's a TV show, but I don't know how many episodes y'all got. But I mean, push comes to shove. how many times has Zoe Saldana had to get into her makeup? How many times has Dave Bautista had to get into his makeup as Drax? You know, how many times did all these people have to get up into their makeup? So, you know, how many days as they're shooting this epic length TV series? So, yeah, it was weird. I'm not happy they don't have Garth being green, Beast Boy being green. I'm very disappointed in that. It's just so lazy. I think it would make it just so much more worthwhile. But I don't know. There was besides the idea of Corey. Now, should I just call her Raven again? Starfire. There we go. As far as Starfire not looking orange, not looking like Starfire, I'm bothered that she was a straight up killer. She was a stone cold killer in this. Here's this dude laying on the ground. Hey, tell me who this guy is, this image of this guy on the phone. Tell me who he is and where I can find him, and I'll help you. So he does, and she snaps his neck. Really? And then when she turns those guys to ash, she's not particularly enamored with the idea that, oh, wow, look at that, I've got powers. Because remember, she was suffering from amnesia. But instead, after she burns these guys alive, she goes up and looks at this picture made of adamantium, apparently. It wasn't even hot. And she just, she looks at those guys that are turned to ash, and she's just like, huh, and then walks away. So now she reminds me of a 100% total airhead. Unacceptable. Raven's powers are clearly extremely different. I don't think this is going to have anything to do necessarily with Trigon. I don't know, but we're just seeing more of a Dark Child version of Raven here, as opposed to her having any powers. I'm sure later, if they want to, they will have her use, you know, magical bolts and things like that. But for now, they just don't have anything like that. And, you know, it's cool. Like I said, I do enjoy the way that she's using her powers, but bit much. Anyway, all intents and purposes, this was a pretty good TV series. I like this episode. I did like this. I'm definitely going to watch the next one when it comes out. Was that next week? Kind of weird that they don't just let me binge the whole thing, because why not, man? But still, I'm enjoying it. All right, you got Black Lightning Season 2 about to come out. I just started watching it. I think I just finished the 7th episode or something like that. I'll probably do a review on the entire first season before I start watching the second season. Yeah, I can't believe I'm so late watching that, but it is what it is, you know? And then we got Daredevil coming out in about 7 days. 6 days, I think, it's going to be coming out. Today's Saturday. So, yeah, 6 days. Remember, 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time on Friday. So it's Thursday night. It turns midnight. 3 hours later. But dang, there's your Season 3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to binge it, but I'm going to try like crazy to just watch all the episodes and talk about it, because that's looking pretty good too. And hell, I might even be convinced to watch Cloak and Dagger, but not my biggest concern. This TV series, though, it was cool. I am really looking forward to the, not the Metal Men, the Doom Patrol. I'm really looking forward to seeing Doom Patrol. That intrigues the hell out of me. I'm also really waiting to see Hawk and Dove. I don't know if they appear in the next episode or not. I know that the second episode was revealed also. Go and check out my buddy Lewis from the Geek Fortress. He did a review on the first 2 episodes because he went to New York Comic Con. He was there for the panel, and he, you know, got to see Jeff Johns revealed. It's like, we're not going to show you the first episode. We're going to show you the first and second episode. Sorry for the confusion. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're awesome. And yes, you are. So this was cool. Hey, they actually filmed this, at least several scenes of this, right out in Toronto, not too far from me, like a stone's throw away from where I live. They actually sent Jeff Johns. I was hoping they were going to send the whole cast. Like, why wouldn't they? But they at least sent Jeff Johns over to hang out at my comic book store, Gotham Central Comics and Collectibles, in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. He showed up. It was only supposed to be for like a half hour, they promised. He was there for like 2.5, 3.5 hours, something like that. I don't remember. But he was there for a while. This was sometime about a year ago, less than a year ago. So that was really cool, you know? Whole lot to do with this. You got a bunch of people working on this. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but far from the worst. You know, this is definitely still enjoyable. Again, I think my biggest problem, besides the little inconsistencies and silliness, like with a vibranium-made picture, you know, it's made of Prometheus. I mean, we're just going to keep on talking about what the material is of this darn thing. It's made out of unobtainium, unobtainium, or Batmandium. Does anybody remember Batmandium from Dark Knight's Metal? They didn't do a whole lot with that, man. That's like a one-shot, like Batman's Wang, the Batawang. That's it, dude. It's like we're to show it this one issue, and then we're done. We're not going to talk about Badamantium anymore. Nothing. We're done. Man, the backlash was big on that. I'm talking about the Badamantium. Forget about the Batawang. So, what else? Oh, just really the costumes. The costumes, more specifically, the lack of makeup for Garth and for Corey. Was not pleased with that at all. I did like the way that Raven was made. I am hoping she's going to get the little chakra gem on her forehead at one point to help her focus. But yeah, this was good. I did like this. You know, even the hoodie that she wore, it was very specifically made to do that thing, the Arc and, you know, Widow's Peak kind of thing. Devil's Peak, actually. I liked that. I liked it. It didn't have to be exactly, you know, their costume. The only one who's definitely wearing a costume right now is Robin, so I'm good with it. Anyway, he did, although I didn't like that he acted more like Jason. Why not just get Jason Todd to do this, you know? Dark Knights, no, Batman, what was it called? Batman, oh, for crying out loud. Phillips, I think, did? I can't remember. It's supposed to be the first label. White Knight, there we go. Batman White Knight. He, in there, they actually made it so that Jason Todd was the first Robin, and then Dick Grayson came after. They could have done that here also. It wouldn't have been, to me, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But whatever it is, I feel like this should have been Jason Todd. You know what I'm saying? To do this. I mean, Hawk and Dove, were Hawk and Dove ever on the Teen Titans or the new Teen Titans? I don't remember. But they could have been. Actually, they probably were. They probably were at one point. But still, I just want to see the freaking people in costumes, and their costume looks good also. So, but they didn't appear in this first episode. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. This is a pretty long one, and I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.